Well, we got about a minute to go here. I'll let you know when we get started with the Redevelopment Authority. And there's Cindy.
Hey, how are you guys?
I let everybody know, Cindy, that we have to do the roll call vote, and the public comment is in advance through you as well. So
okay.
All right. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so the Redevelopment Authority can get going. I'm going to hit record, and Rob Blue's going to do his thing, and then Amy, you can call the meeting to order.
Good morning, I'm Amy Moulton. I'd like to welcome everyone to the November 19th.
This conference will now be recorded.
Meeting of the Lafayette Redevelopment Authority. Would like to note that we do have a quorum present through virtual means. Rick Davis and I would like to welcome Grant Gernhardt, the newest member of the Redevelopment Authority. With that, our first order of business is the election of officers. We need to assign a member to president, vice president, and secretary positions. Do I have nominations from anyone?
I would nominate as the slate as it is.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So I think that would be, just to clarify, so it'd be Amy staying on as president, and then Rick, I think you vice president, and then Grant as secretary.
Yeah, that would be my motion. Yeah. Thank you, Dennis.
Sure.
Do we need a roll call vote?
Yeah, you want to do a roll call vote, Cindy?
Davis,
Aye.
Moulton,
Aye.
Gernhardt.
Aye.
Late passes.
Right.
All right, our next agenda item is the approval of the minutes from our February 25, 2016 meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved. It's Rick.
Second.
Do we have, does anyone have any questions about the minutes or any revisions? Okay, hearing none. Cindy, will you do a roll call vote?
Davis,
Aye.
Moulton,
Aye.
Gernhardt.
Aye.
Minutes approved.
Okay, now under new business, we have resolution number 2020-01. Do I need to read this, Dennis?
Yeah, I'll read it for you. It's authority approving and authorizing the execution of a lease relating to the financing of a project in, serving, or benefiting the consolidated Creasy Central Economic Development Area, authorizing the issuance of lease rental revenue bonds, and if necessary, bond anticipation notes in connection therewith, and approving and authorizing the execution of financing documents related thereto. I always wanted to do that, just like Cindy Murray does at the City Council.
You only get to take 2 breaths, though.
Yeah, right. So,
Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2020-01?
First, Amy, if you don't mind, we have our bond counsel online, Dennis Otten, and we also have our financial advisors, Greg Balsano and Jason Semler. Why don't we turn it over to Dennis Otten to make a presentation and explain this resolution in more detail.
Thanks, Dennis, and good morning, members of the Redevelopment Authority. This resolution is necessary in connection with the financing of the new municipal police station project that you've heard so much about in the city over the last couple of years. It's taken a long time to get to this point. This project will also include construction of a parking garage that will be part of the police station project, that will have parking facilities for both city officials using the police station and members of the public. The maximum amount of bonds that are authorized by this resolution is $45 million. The payment source for those bonds is going to be lease rental payments from the Redevelopment Commission And those payments are going to be paid with a mix of TIF revenues from the consolidated Creasy TIF and the public safety lit revenues. And the Redevelopment Commission at its discretion may decide to use other TIF revenues that it is permissible to use. One thing we're looking at is some McCarty Street TIF, but actual pledges will be those lit revenues and the TIF, and then there is a property tax backup on these payments as well. But I'll let Greg or Jason speak in a moment to that. The purpose of it, that's really to enhance the security for the bonds and help give a lower interest rate to the city. You might ask yourselves why we have a lease financing, and that's because these bonds are subject to the debt limit. And so when that's the case, we will utilize the Redevelopment Authority as an issuing body, and the payment source for the bonds then becomes the lease. And under state law, that's a permissible arrangement that doesn't violate the constitutional debt limit. Briefly, kind of the documents that you see referenced, these form financing documents. The key document here is the lease, and it is in final form before you today. That will be executed, and we'll have a notice that we'll advertise for that. The other documents are a trust indenture for the bonds. There's an addendum to the lease. There's a continuing disclosure agreement form, and then there'll be referenced in there an official statement that will come later. But these are all some of the financing documents that will be put together and available when it comes time to price this bond issue, and we'll fill them out. They won't change a whole lot from what you've seen other than sort of filling in the numbers and maybe some small variations. And we expect that to occur probably in early April. We're trying to get it through all the proceedings now so that we can have the city ready to go and issue the bonds when the city needs money for this project. I think, Greg or Jason, do you guys want to talk for just a moment about kind of the rentals and maybe interest rates, things like that you think are important?
Yeah, sure. This is Jason Simler with Baker Tilly. Dennis did a great job of summarizing the financing, and as you said, the not to exceed amount or max amount to be borrowed is $45 million. But based upon current construction estimates, we're looking more like the bond being between $43 and $44 million, and amortized between 20 to 25 years. Max is 25 years. And as Dennis said, that what is being pledged is the TIF from the downtown or from the Creasy Tree Central Consolidated Area and Public Safety. But what we've tried to do through this structure is to give the city the most flexibility as possible. That amount that they want to use from TIF versus public safety, and also from just other areas, that can be a year-by-year decision, which just, as a city council looks at their budget, Dennis Carson looks at the TIF budget, they can make a decision from year to year on where the actual payment would come from. So again, we've tried to structure these bonds to give the Redevelopment Commission and the city the most flexibility. As far as interest rates, we have assumed interest rates now, and based upon that size project and interest rates, we're looking at a bond or annual payment around $2.9 million, $3 million. Rates are at historical lows still. They've crept up a little bit the last few weeks as we're getting toward the end of the year. But that being said, rates are still very low. We continue to those still to be low, historical lows, even through the beginning of next year and in the spring. So if the community has to borrow money with a project like this, this is a good time to be in the market to borrow money.
Dennis, is there any more to the presentation?
No, I believe that's it. So if anybody has any questions.
I'm good. Thank you for that.
I have no questions.
Cindy, was there any public comment on this?
I received none.
Now do I have a motion to approve resolution number 2020-01?
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2020-01 as stated.
I'll second that.
Cindy, will you do the roll call vote?
Davis,
Aye.
Moulton,
Aye.
Bernhardt.
Aye.
Resolution 2020-01 passes 3-0.
I believe there is no further business to come before the redevelopment authority today. Dennis, do you have anything else for us?
No, I don't have anything else. Just appreciate everybody getting together this morning and doing this. And then we'll move on next to our redevelopment commission meeting. So thank you again.
Thank you.
I'll just need a motion to adjourn, Amy.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll move to adjourn. Or did you move to adjourn? Whichever. If you moved, I'll second.
You have a second on that?
I'll second that.
All right, this concludes the November 19, 2020 meeting of the Lafayette Redevelopment Authority.
All right, thank you. Okay, and then we can move into the redevelopment commission meeting. And I believe Jim Terry is going to chair the meeting today because Josh Holman was unable to attend.
You ready?
We're ready.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Lafayette Redevelopment Commission meeting today, November 19th, 2020. I would like to remind everyone after the appropriate motions, there will be a roll call by City Clerk Cindy Murray. First thing on the agenda would be approval of the minutes of the October 22nd, 2020 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review those?
I move they be approved as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy Murray.
Henriette,
Aye.
Terry,
Yes. Aye.
Dean.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
And Josh is absent, correct?
Correct.
Okay, minutes passed.
I believe the second thing on the agenda would be a public hearing, so we need a motion to close the Lafayette Redevelopment Commission and open the public portion of this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Okay, Jim, we'll go ahead and then turn it over to Dennis Otten, as well as the team from Baker Tilly to explain these two resolutions.
Okay, we're doing them both at the same time, right?
Yeah, they can explain them both, but we'll have to take a separate vote on each one.
Okay.
Thanks, Dennis. Good morning, commission members. And Dennis, can you clarify, we are in the public hearing stage right now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So yeah, we just need an explanation now. Then we can, after that, we can move into the new business and actually take action.
Okay, very good. What you see on the agenda, we have two public hearings slated today. And both of these hearings relate to the same project, which is the municipal police station project in the city of Lafayette that also includes a parking component to it. And that project will be financed through the city's redevelopment authority. And there will be a lease between the redevelopment authority and the redevelopment commission. And the rentals from that lease will pay the debt service on the bonds. The redevelopment commission will be the lessee. And so the first public hearing does concern that lease agreement. The total amount of the bonds is not to exceed $45 million. And the term of these bonds will be over a period not to exceed 25 years. Payment sources will be a combination of public safety revenues and TIF from consolidated Creasy TIF area with a property tax backup. which is really just for marketability of the bonds. But the commission may determine to use other sources of payments at its discretion. But by statute, before the redevelopment commission can consider approving and signing one of these leases, it has to hold a public hearing, which we're doing now. And we've advertised a notice for that hearing in accordance with Indiana law. I'm going to explain also now the other element of this public hearing. About a month or two ago, the Redevelopment Commission at its meeting adopted a declaratory resolution to confirm, or rather to amend the plan for the consolidated Creasy Central Economic Development Area to add the police station project to that plan. This is something the Redevelopment Commission has done a number of times over the years as it's had new projects. The process then is it went to the Tippecanoe Valley or Tippecanoe County Plan Commission for approval and was approved. That has been before the City Council, which has also given its approval. And so by statute, we're now back at a public hearing to take any public comment on that resolution. So that's the nature of the hearings. And Jason or Greg, do you want to talk a little bit more about the financial aspects of the project?
Sure. This is Jason Simler from Baker Tilly. Thanks for the members of the commission. Yes, as we discussed, the amount of bonds that are being approved are up to $45 million, but based upon current construction costs, and it may change between now and when we actually bid the project, but would lend itself toward a bond issue of more between 43.3 to $44 million. And we're looking at amortizing this, can go up to 25 years. We'll know more once we have bids, but we're looking either a 20 or 25-year amortization. And as Dennis mentioned, those payments on those bonds will be paid from a combination of public safety income tax and tax increment financing. A portion of the TIF for the consolidated Creasy Central area are pledged towards the bond payments. But the way we've structured the bonds, it's trying to give the city and the Redevelopment Commission the most flexibility. The Redevelopment Commission and the city can choose from year to year what portion of the bonds are paid from TIF and which area, and which are payable from public safety. So again, the goal was to try to give the city and the Redevelopment Commission the most flexibility in making those bond payments. And as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at about a 20-25 year repayment. We are recommending, and is being approved, to go forward with the property tax backup. Again, we're showing that there's plenty enough revenue from the combination of public safety and TIF to make the bond payments, and we don't intend to levy a new property tax to help make the bond payment. It's really there just for marketing purposes. And as far as interest rates at the bond markets, we are still at historical lows. And we don't think that's going to change too much in the next 4 to 6 months, when we think that we'll be out getting bids and having to bond sell for these. So for those communities that are needing to do a bond or projects this size, this is a good time to be issuing bonds. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. I think we're still in public comment. Cindy, did we get any written public comments
I received none.
on either resolution?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that concludes this portion of the public hearing, if there's no questions for anyone. And I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing and open the Lafayette Redevelopment Commission again.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
It's passed.
Okay, we'll move right along to new business. We'll do these one at a time, I guess. Resolution number LRC 2020-13, approving and authorizing the execution of a lease with the City of Lafayette Redevelopment Authority. You have anything to add to that, Dennis, or?
No, I do not, but I think Dennis Otten gave a good explanation there. So if anybody has any additional questions.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission? I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve resolution LRC 2020-13.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Resolution 2020-13 passes 4-0.
Okay, we'll move right along to resolution number LRC 2020-15, confirming resolution number LRC 2020-12, adopted September 24th, 2020, which made certain amendments to the consolidated plan for the consolidated Creasy Central Economic Development Area. Does any of the commissions have any other questions on this? Or Dennis, do you have any remarks?
No, I do not.
I would entertain a motion then.
I move we approve resolution LRC 2020-15.
Second.
Thanks, Don. Have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Resolutions 2020-15 passes 4-0.
Okay, we're moving right along to resolution number LRC 2020-16, approving financing documents related to the lease retail revenue bonds proposed to be issued by the City of Lafayette Redevelopment Authority. Any questions or comments from the director or the commission?
I'm going to turn it over to our team here, our finance and legal team, with Dennis Otten and the folks from Baker Tilly to make some comments about this particular resolution.
Okay.
Thanks, Dennis. And commission members, this resolution is a companion to the two resolutions you just adopted. It's part of the financing that will be undertaken by the Redevelopment Authority. They'll be entering into a number of documents for the bond issue, the trust indenture, there'll be a lease addendum, there'll be a continuing disclosure agreement that the Redevelopment Commission will need to enter into. And part of our practice is that we like to have the leasing body adopt resolutions that kind of acknowledge those forms of documents and improve their forms. And so that's what we have before you today with this resolution. And you can see there's a not to exceed amount in there of $45 million. And I can tell you the Redevelopment Authority at its meeting that just occurred, if you were to look at the resolution they adopted, it's very similar to this one. So they've also blessed those documents. And with this approval, we'll kind of have both parties to the documents having approvals in place. And Jason, Greg, I didn't know if you had anything further to add to that.
No, we don't, unless there's any questions.
Well, thank you very much, Dennis. Appreciate that. Any other comments? I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve resolution number LRC 2020-16, approving financing documents related to the lease rental revenue bonds proposed to be issued by the City of Lafayette Redevelopment Authority.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Resolution 2020-16 passes 4-0.
Okay, we're at the director's report. Dennis, do you have any words of wisdom?
I'm not sure how wise they are, but I do have some words. So our streetscape projects are winding down. The one on 3rd Street by the county building is essentially done. We've done a walkthrough on that. There's just a few things that they're wrapping up on a punch list. And then on the Upper Main Street one, we're going to be going through a punch list for that here either this week or next week and such. So both of them turned out really good and really very happy with them. The Fresh Air Eats program that we did for the outdoor dining activity downtown went really, really well. And we had concluded that for the season and such. All the restaurateurs were very happy with that. It was very successful. So now we're looking at other things as we come into the winter months here. We're looking at other things that we can do to support not only the restaurants, but other retail and such in the downtown area and throughout Lafayette. As you probably know, that tonight we were supposed to have a public meeting on our parking garage and public safety building, but unfortunately we had to postpone that. We have set a tentative date for that for December 16th at 7 p.m. And we will have hopefully an in-person way to do that for that public meeting, but we'll also have several different platforms online, virtual meetings for that as well too. So that's all the words of wisdom I have today.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Is there any questions for Dennis's report? Hearing none, it will stand as presented. The November 2020 claims. Has everyone had a chance to review those claims for November 2020? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the claims of $1,001,366.24.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the question. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Claims approved 4-0.
We're down to public comment. Did we receive any written public comment, or anyone on here would like to have anything to say? Now's your time.
My office received none.
Hearing none, we'll move right along to adjournment if I get a motion in a second.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Bingo, we got a motion and a second. Roll call by Cindy.
Henriette,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Everyone stay safe out there.
Thanks, Jim. You too.
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy
Thanks for
Thanksgiving.
running, Jim.
Welcome.